Is there an alien spaceship in our solar system right now? In 2017, a weird object called Oumuamua zipped past Earth, baffling scientists and kicking off wild speculation about alien tech. But now, a new visitor, 3I Atlas, is acting even stranger, and the debate is hotter than ever. Is this just a comet from a distant star, or are we looking at something much, much bigger? For months, this mysterious traveler has been making headlines and fueling intense arguments. It was discovered in the summer of 2025 and is only the third interstellar object we've ever seen pass through our solar system, a true cosmic celebrity. But it's so unusual that some top scientists are asking a wild question. Is this natural, or did someone or something send it? Today, we're separating the science from the speculation. We'll look at the hard evidence, break down the arguments for it being a comet, and give a fair look at the claims that it might be something else entirely. We are going to find out the truth. It all started on July 1st, 2025. An automated telescope in Chile, part of the Atlas network, spotted a faint little dot moving through space. At first, it was just another blip. But as astronomers tracked it, they realized something was wrong. Its path was unlike anything they normally see. Almost everything in our solar system, from tiny asteroids to Jupiter, travels in an oval-shaped orbit, trapped by the sun's gravity. But 3I Atlas was different. Its path was a hyperbola, and that one word changes everything. A hyperbolic path means an object has so much speed and energy that it can just ignore the sun's gravitational pull. It's not in an orbit. It's on a one-way ticket, just passing through. This was the smoking gun. Astronomers traced its path backward and confirmed it. 3I Atlas didn't come from our solar system. It came from the huge, dark void between the stars. That's why it got the name 3I. It's only the third interstellar object we've ever spotted, after the mysterious 1I Oumuamua in 2017 and the more normal comet 2I Borisov in 2019. Finding another interstellar visitor was a massive deal for science. These things are like cosmic messengers, carrying clues about star systems light years away. But as our telescopes zoomed in, the message 3I Atlas was sending got weirder and weirder. Okay, so the simplest and most obvious explanation was that 3I Atlas is just a comet from another star system. Comets are basically giant, dirty snowballs left over from when stars are born, made of rock, dust, and frozen gases. As they get close to a star, the heat turns their ice straight into gas. This gas forms a glowing cloud called a coma, and sometimes a crazy long tail of gas and dust that can stretch for millions of miles. And sure enough, telescopes started seeing exactly that. The European Space Agency, or ESA, coordinated observations, even using its missions near Mars to get a look, which confirmed 3I Atlas had developed that classic glowing coma, a dead giveaway for a comet. This cloud of gas and dust was a huge piece of evidence. It showed the object was shedding material as it got heated by the sun, just like a comet should. Then, we pointed our biggest and best telescopes at it, like the James Webb Space Telescope. On August 6, 2025, Webb analyzed the gas around 3I Atlas and found the chemical signature of carbon dioxide and water, the basic ingredients of a comet. Other telescopes, like the Very Large Telescope in Chile, detected cyanide gas and even nickel vapor, which are things we've seen in comets from our own solar system. Every new piece of data seemed to prove it. 3I Atlas looked like a comet and acted like a comet. Case closed, right? Well, not exactly. This is where the story takes a sharp turn into the bizarre. While most scientists agreed it was a comet, a few weird things or anomalies just didn't add up. These oddities were highlighted by people like Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb, who famously suggested that our first interstellar visitor, Oumuamua, could have been an alien artifact. He and others argue that the data from 3I Atlas is even stranger. First, its speed. At its closest point to the sun, This thing was screaming past at nearly 152,000 miles per hour. Even more puzzling, its path showed it was accelerating in a way that couldn't be explained by the sun's gravity alone. Something else was giving it a little push. Second, its behavior was just off. It started glowing and forming a coma when it was still super far from the sun, way out past Jupiter's orbit. Most of our comets have to get way closer to the sun before they light up like that. The James Webb Telescope also found it was packed with carbon dioxide ice, way more than water ice, which is a very unusual ratio. Finally, there was the mystery of its tail, or lack thereof. As it swung past the sun in an event called perihelion, everyone expected a massive, brilliant tail. If it was getting pushed by outgassing, that gas and dust had to go somewhere. But the first images showed a surprisingly faint tail, or no tail at all, a contradiction that sent speculation into overdrive. These anomalies, the weird acceleration, the early activity, and the missing tail, have led some to make an incredible claim that 3I Atlas isn't a rock at all, but something built. But before we get into what scientists are saying back, if you're loving this dive into cosmic mysteries, do us a favor and smash that subscribe button. It helps us keep making more videos just like this. Now, let's see what the scientific community has to say. For every weird claim, scientists have a job to do: find a natural explanation. And for 3I Atlas, the explanations are pretty convincing. Let's start with that non-gravitational acceleration. It sounds mysterious, but it's actually something we see in comets. As the sun heats the comet's core, jets of gas erupt from the surface. These jets act like tiny natural rocket thrusters, giving the comet a gentle nudge that changes its path. The confusion about the missing tail was cleared up later, when new images showed huge but faint jets of material, including a strange anti-tail pointing towards the sun. The sheer amount of mass it was losing, at times hundreds of pounds of dust every single second, was enough to explain the push it was getting. No alien engines were needed. Next, the unusual chemistry. That high ratio of carbon dioxide to water ice is fascinating, but not alien. Carbon dioxide ice turns to gas at a much colder temperature than water ice, which perfectly explains why 3I Atlas lit up so far from the sun. Instead of being a sign of something artificial, this is an incredible scientific gift. It tells us that 3I Atlas probably formed in a much colder star system than our own, giving us a rare peek into the chemistry of a distant planetary nursery. Finally, even Avi Loeb's more speculative claims have been challenged. He argued that the object's size and speed make it a huge statistical anomaly, with less than a 0.1% chance of it being natural. But other scientists say those numbers are based on shaky assumptions. The scientific process is all about checking and rechecking, and so far, every anomaly seems to have a plausible, natural explanation. So, after all the debates and crazy theories, what's the final verdict? The scientific consensus is clear. The evidence overwhelmingly points to 3I Atlas being a natural object. In November 2025, the Meerkat radio telescope in South Africa listened in and detected faint, natural radio emissions from the comet. This wasn't an alien radio show. It was the signature of hydroxyl radicals, a chemical byproduct of water, further cementing its identity as a comet. Every piece of direct evidence, the coma, the familiar cometary gases, the water detection, and the explainable acceleration, points to a natural origin. The alien vessel theories, while exciting, are based on interpreting unusual data in the most speculative way possible. As physicist Brian Cox pointed out, there's no need to jump to alien explanations when the evidence for it being a comet is so strong. NASA has also been clear. 3I Atlas poses zero threat to Earth, as its closest approach will still be a whopping 170 million miles away. But this doesn't make 3I Atlas boring. It makes it one of the most scientifically important objects ever seen. It's a pristine sample from another star system, delivered right to our cosmic doorstep. So, what is 3i Atlas? It's not an alien ship, but something just as amazing, a messenger from an unknown star. Its journey through our solar system has been a thrilling detective story. It showed up as a mysterious dot, and its bizarre behavior made us ask one of our deepest questions. Are we alone? But as we dug in, the evidence led us to a more subtle and, honestly, more important answer. We learned that comets in other star systems can be wildly different from ours. We proved that material from one star can travel across the galaxy to visit another. And we showed just how incredible our technology has become to track and study these visitors with pinpoint accuracy. The true mystery of 3i Atlas is no longer what it is, but where it came from and what it can teach us about our galaxy. What does its carbon dioxide-rich makeup tell us about how planets form? How many more of these objects are silently gliding through deep space? These are the questions that will drive science for years to come, all thanks to this incredible visitor. So what do you think? Are you convinced by the science, or do you think there's more to the story? Let us know your wildest theories down in the comments. For more insane space stories like this, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and keep looking up.